Look at this photo. The region is locked in a punishing heat wave, and the physical toll on people outdoors is immediate and severe. But while we focus on the temperature, the hidden danger is what the heat does to the moisture. High temperatures drive rapid, continuous evaporation, pulling water out of the local environment faster than it can be replaced. You can see the physical impact here. The rural terrain is entirely parched, with deep cracks in the earth proving the complete absence of groundwater. This prolonged heat pushes the entire ecosystem into an unnatural state. Even the deep soil, the native plants, and the ambient air have lost all baseline moisture. Into this dry reality, our daily routines are suddenly interrupted by an urgent digital warning pushing its way through our standard messages. This true color alert clearly outlines the immediate threat of impending forest fires. Look at the timeline attached. It specifically flags an acute temporary window of extreme danger, and it's issued directly by the National Disaster Management Authority, giving the warning serious institutional weight. That short message serves as a diagnostic indicator. It tells us that the surrounding environment has been pushed to the absolute brink. To understand why the forest is so explosive right now, we can look at the combustion triangle. This diagram breaks down the three elements required for any fire: heat, fuel, and oxygen. Right now, the fuel variable is overwhelming the system. This image shows the forest floor buried under a dense, unbroken layer of dead leaves, dropped by heat-stressed trees. Because the local humidity is near zero, those biological leaves dry out completely, turning into highly brittle, flammable tinder. Add the heat variable from weeks of sustained daytime temperatures, and that ground layer is essentially pre-baked in an outdoor oven. Those two factors combined turn the entire landscape into an endless expanse of primed fuel, completely ready to burn. But there is a catch. Despite the perfect fuel and heat conditions, a fire rarely starts on its own without a natural trigger like lightning. The environment has engineered a massive, highly volatile explosive device across thousands of acres. It just lacks an internal detonator. That brings us to the final element needed to collapse the combustion triangle: a concentrated external spark. And in this specific region, the source of that required spark is almost entirely artificial. The vegetation is so dry that even a microspark, like simple friction or static, crosses the ignition threshold instantly. Conditions are created by nature, but the actual disaster requires a person to strike the match. The fatal spark rarely comes from malice. It usually comes from simple oversights: a discarded cigarette, an unattended campfire, or burning garbage on the side of the road. When that localized negligence hits the pre-baked forest floor, the physical reaction is violent and immediate. You can see the active ground fire overwhelming the trees here as responders try to contain it. Because the fuel is so dense, the blaze spreads exponentially. This image shows multiple large-scale fire vehicles deployed, illustrating how quickly a brush fire can overwhelm municipal resources. A single fraction of a second of carelessness guarantees the destruction of thousands of acres. Because human action is the catalyst, active human prevention is our only viable defense strategy. The primary rule is straightforward: an absolute prohibition of open flames near any wild grass or forested areas during this period. And if you detect unauthorized smoke, you must notify local administration the moment you see it. When we look at this TrueCaller SMS again, the scientific reality behind the warning is clear. This alert is an active call to duty. The survival of the ecosystem rests squarely on our immediate vigilance over the